I'm Shae at the Dubois Branch Library, and today I'm going to teach you how to take old magazines and turn them into collages like these. I like to start my collages by choosing a frame. I got this hot pink frame at St. Vincent de Paul for about 30 cents. I usually find my frames there for 50 cents or less. To start, I'll remove the back panel from the frame. I'm just going to trace it on some cardstock. This helps me make sure that my piece of cardstock will fit exactly right. Now that I have the outline on my cardstock, I'm just going to cut it out. In order to find the images that I like to have a large stash of magazines on hand. Some of these are magazines that I subscribe to myself, and some of them are old magazines that the library doesn't need anymore. I will go through and tear out entire pages with images that I like or advertisements that have large pieces of solid color, like this one. I like to cut these apart to use for backgrounds. Now that I have some pages torn out, I just need to go through, choose the images that I like, and cut them out. I'm going to be using just a regular pair of scissors today, but it's also helpful to have a self-healing cutting mat and an X-Acto knife on hand if you need to do something with a little more detail. I've decided that for this collage, I'm going to work very intentionally from the background to the middle ground to the foreground. So right now, I'm going to lay down the background. I found this interesting textured blue in a photo shoot from InStyle magazine, and I'm going to take some pieces of that and paste it onto my cardstock using regular white school glue. There will be seams that are visible, but when I work on the middle ground, I will hide these. I'm just going to take my paintbrush, load it with some glue, and paint the glue across the cardstock. I'm going to try to work fairly quickly so that the glue doesn't dry before I get a chance to get the magazine print on it. You can see that the edges aren't completely covered, and in some places they're overlapping. I can trim the overlap later, and the uncovered edges will be covered by the picture frame. My cardstock is starting to curl a little bit from being wet, but that'll even out once it's in the frame as well. Now that I think I've figured out the next layer of my collage, I'm going to double check that it fits the way I like inside of the frame by taking the glass out of the frame and simply holding it over my cardstock so that I can see about where the frame's going to land. Looks pretty good. Once again, I'm going to be using my paintbrush to paint plain white school glue onto my cardstock that's now covered with magazine print in order to attach the next layer. I've chosen to work only with solid colored shapes for this layer, but yours may be some images like flowers, foods that you like, animals, or people. While setting the middle ground, I managed to hide some of the uncovered spots in the background. Now that the middle ground is established, I can go ahead and set the foreground. The last thing that needs to be glued to the cardstock is the foreground of the collage. This time I'm going to use some text that I found in an advertisement in a quilting magazine. Don't worry if you can't read it right now. I'll show you the finished product in a moment. It turned out great. I can't wait to put it on my craft organizer. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and maybe try it out for yourself. If you'd like, you can share it with us in the comments on Facebook. Thank you for watching.